You find yourself at 35 or perhaps 40, gazing at the current dating scene and pondering, what on earth am I meant to do now? The younger women seem rather undeveloped. Those around your own age often arrive with more emotional encumbrance than a seasoned traveler's luggage. And it appears everyone is either divorced, has children, or carries burdens that lead you to question if remaining unattached might be the most prudent course of action. I understand this sentiment completely. I have provided guidance to hundreds of men in your precise predicament. Allow me to share insights that others may not offer regarding the selection of a life partner after 35. And more importantly, whether you should even embark on this endeavor. The foundational concept you must grasp is that the landscape of dating has fundamentally transformed since you were 25. Back then, you represented pure potential, an unwritten future, a realm of infinite possibilities. Now, you are what you are. Your core personality is established. Your ingrained habits are set. Your behavioral patterns are solidified. And here's the critical element. So are hers. Any woman you contemplate partnering with is not going to undergo a significant metamorphosis. That challenging aspect of her disposition, it's permanent. Those warning signs, the red flags, they are not about to disappear. After the age of 35, you are not engaging with potential. You are confronting reality. Before we delve into the specifics of what constitutes an appropriate match for you, we must first address you. And I mean truly examine yourself, not the idealized version you hold in your mind. Have you evolved into a different man since your 20s? Or are you simply the same individual with less hair and a bit more of a midsection? If you are still operating with the same mental programming from your 20s, but expecting dissimilar outcomes, you are setting yourself up for significant disappointment. Let us begin with an honest assessment of your physical circumstances. Look at yourself in the mirror, not with a cursory glance while brushing your teeth, but with a sustained, critical gaze. What is your typical energy reserve like? Can you still remain awake past midnight without feeling utterly depleted the following day? How is your physical condition? Because the unvarnished truth is this: your physical state significantly influences your available dating prospects. A fit 40-year-old man possesses an entirely different array of choices compared to someone who is out of shape. This is not a superficial concern. It is a fundamental reality. I once worked with a client, 42 years of age, who firmly believed he was entitled to a relationship with a 28-year-old woman. This gentleman had not set foot in a gymnasium for a decade, dressed as though his entire wardrobe consisted of items from a discount warehouse, and possessed the vitality of a lethargic mammal. Yet in his own mind, his accumulated maturity and life experience should have been sufficient. My friend, life experience does not compensate for an appearance that suggests you have surrendered to apathy. Younger women who choose to date older men are not seeking your accumulated wisdom. They are attracted by the fact that you have maintained yourself and possess financial resources. Now, let us turn our attention to the financial aspect. Because after the age of 35, this factor assumes even greater importance. This is not to imply that all women are solely interested in financial gain, but rather that your economic standing directly dictates the nature of the dating dynamic you will experience. Are you experiencing financial strain? In that scenario, you are likely seeking a partner, someone with whom you can share household expenses. Are you financially prosperous? Then your considerations will involve a completely different set of interpersonal dynamics and potential risks. Are you somewhere in the middle ground? That position presents its own unique set of circumstances and rules. A man over 35 who is struggling financially has a limited pool of potential partners. And I will be direct about this. You are likely to encounter single mothers, women who have been divorced and are facing their own financial challenges, or individuals with issues that have contributed to their prolonged single status. This is not a judgment. It is a reflection of market realities. You might indeed discover an exceptional individual, but it is imperative to maintain a realistic perspective regarding the probabilities. Then, there is the man who has become embittered by financial losses, typically following a divorce and the forfeiture of a significant portion of his assets. This individual tends to view every woman as a potential financial opportunist. Such bitterness is inherently toxic and repels women of quality. He is more likely to attract women who are desperate or who perceive him as a challenge to be fixed. His pervasive suspicion ultimately becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The man who professes, "Love me for who I am," while simultaneously being financially destitute, is living in a state of delusion. After the age of 35, your identity encompasses your accomplishments. When a woman evaluates you, she is assessing the cumulative results of your life. If those results are akin to, "I reside in my mother's basement, but I possess a kind disposition," that is hardly compelling. Being pleasant is the baseline expectation, not a selling proposition. Now, if you have achieved financial success, you will encounter a different set of challenges. You will attract women who are drawn to your resources. Naturally, the key lies in discerning who is genuinely interested in you as a complete person, as opposed to who views you solely as an automated teller machine with a heartbeat. This requires a level of perceptiveness that many successful men lack, as they are accustomed to resolving issues through monetary means. This is where introspection becomes absolutely critical. Why do you desire a committed relationship? Contemplate this deeply. Is it for love? Is it for ego gratification? Is it simply because you are weary of being alone? Is it due to societal pressure? Because your underlying motivation will determine what you are willing to tolerate. If your primary driver is loneliness, you will likely accept substandard treatment. If it is ego, your choices will be dictated solely by physical appearance. If your true desire is for genuine companionship, you will need to exercise significantly more discernment. Allow me to elaborate on the dynamics of manipulation you must be vigilant for. There exists a particular type of woman who specifically targets men over 35, especially those who have experienced previous emotional distress. She will present herself as distinct, compassionate, and nurturing. She will listen sympathetically to your accounts of divorce, validate your pain, and make you feel profoundly understood. However, observe what transpires once she has secured your commitment. That understanding will evaporate, and the demands will commence. Suddenly, you will find yourself ensnared in another predicament. The inclination to rescue is a significant factor for men of our age. You encounter a woman facing difficulties, whether financial, emotional, or otherwise, and a part of you feels compelled to rectify her situation. Perhaps it is your ego at play. Perhaps it is genuine concern. Perhaps it is a deeply ingrained behavioral pattern from your past. But here is the outcome. You rescue her. She, in turn, develops resentment towards you for it. Why? Because being rescued implies a position of inferiority, and no one desires to feel subordinate to their partner. You assume the parental role, she becomes the child, and consequently, sexual attraction diminishes and eventually fades. I once counseled a 38-year-old gentleman who rescued a single mother from financial hardship. He provided her with accommodation, settled her debts, and ensured her children attended private schools. Within 2 years, she began treating him with outright contempt. The reason? Every act of kindness he performed served as a constant reminder of her own perceived inability to achieve these things independently. His generosity became the source of her shame, and she retaliated against him for it. This pattern is so prevalent that it has essentially become an unwritten law of human behavior. The archetype of the weak partner is something you absolutely must avoid embodying. This describes the man who is so grateful for any female attention that he will tolerate virtually anything: disrespect, manipulation, a defunct sexual relationship, emotional abuse. He endures it all because he is paralyzed by the fear of prolonged solitude. Women possess an uncanny ability to detect this desperation from a considerable distance, and those who select you based upon it are precisely the ones who will ultimately devastate you. Here is a stark reality. Men who are emotionally submissive tend to repel women over time. This holds true even for the women who initially chose them precisely because of that submissiveness. It presents a paradox. She may have selected you because she perceived she could control you, but she subsequently resents you for the very reason she is able to control you. She desires dominance, yet she finds you detestable for being so easily dominated. You cannot possibly win this particular dynamic, so it is best not to engage. Now, regarding strategic selection, if you are over 35 and have your physical well-being and financial affairs in order, you do possess options. But your approach must be strategic, not merely emotional. A younger woman may be a possibility if you can demonstrably offer value beyond mere financial provision. A woman of your age is certainly a viable option, provided she has maintained herself and does not carry excessive emotional baggage. A single mother might be considered if her children are older and she exhibits genuine independence. The paramount factor is an honest self-assessment. If your overall market value is a 6 out of 10, cease pursuing women who are a 9, and then express bewilderment as to why you are consistently exploited. If you are an 8, do not settle for a 5, simply because you fear enduring loneliness. Align your partner selection with your market value. You may aim slightly higher, but maintain a grounded perspective. Delusion invariably leads to misfortune. Red flags you absolutely must be on the lookout for include any woman who speaks incessantly about her former partner, whether in positive or negative terms. Any woman who lacks female friendships. Women in certain professions, such as life coaches, online influencers, or models. Essentially, anyone whose occupation is primarily centered around monetizing attention. Any woman who consistently tests your boundaries from the outset. And any woman who regularly makes you feel inadequate about yourself. The nuances of her speech patterns reveal a great deal. Does she articulate her entitlements or her contributions? Does she frame herself as a victim or as someone who assumes responsibility for her circumstances? Does she perceive relationships as equitable partnerships or as situations where she is to be indulged? Pay close attention to how she speaks about other individuals, particularly other men. That is precisely how she will eventually speak about you. I had a client who chose to disregard every discernible red flag because the sexual chemistry was extraordinary. She was a 35-year-old entrepreneur, which, in reality, translated to a history of failed business ventures. She spoke constantly about manifesting abundance, engaged in dramatic interpersonal conflicts with everyone in her life. But the intimacy was exceptional. So he overlooked the myriad of warning signs. 2 years later, she had depleted his savings to fund her endeavors, engaged in infidelity with her business associate, and successfully convinced him that it was his fault for not adequately supporting her ambitions. The criteria for an ideal relationship for a man over 35 should be non-negotiable. Firstly, she should enhance your sense of peace, not disrupt it. If your life becomes more tumultuous with her presence than without it, she is not the appropriate partner. Secondly, she must be financially and emotionally self-sufficient. This does not necessarily mean she needs to be wealthy, but she should not be actively seeking a rescuer. Thirdly, there must be a dynamic of mutual contribution. Both of you should be actively improving each other's lives in tangible ways. Here is an illustration of what mutual contribution looks like. You provide a sense of security. She provides tranquility. You manage the primary financial responsibilities. She transforms the home into a sanctuary. You introduce structure. She imbues it with warmth. This is not about meticulously keeping score. It is about both individuals adding value to the partnership. If you are the sole contributor while she is merely a consumer, this is not a reciprocal relationship. It is a form of parasitism. The absence of manipulation is a critical indicator. A woman of substance does not resort to manipulative tactics because she is capable of direct communication. She does not wield sex as a weapon, employ tears as a tool, or leverage emotions for advantage. She articulates her needs clearly and respects your personal boundaries. If you frequently find yourself uncertain of her desires or constantly treading on eggshells, this is indicative of manipulation, not complexity. Let us address the significant factor of single mothers, as after 35 you will encounter many. It is important to understand that not all single mothers represent unfavorable prospects, but you must be fully aware of what entering such a dynamic entails. You will never be her foremost priority. Her children will always hold that position. You will inevitably contend with her former partner indefinitely. You will be expected to provide financial support without possessing any genuine parental authority. If you are comfortable with these realities, proceed with caution. If not, do not feign acceptance. The category of divorced women necessitates thorough examination. What were the root causes of her marriage's dissolution? Does she accept any measure of personal responsibility, or is the fault entirely attributed to her ex-husband? How long has she been divorced? Has she undertaken any personal development or self-reflection? Or has she simply plunged back into the dating pool without any introspection? A woman who has been divorced for a mere 6 months will possess a distinctly different outlook than one who has been divorced for 3 years and has actively engaged in therapeutic processes. Age differences require realistic discussion. Can a 40-year-old man realistically date a 25-year-old woman? Certainly, if he possesses exceptional qualities. Perhaps he is remarkably fit, highly successful, or possesses unusual charisma. However, if you are an average 40-year-old attempting to date women 15 years your junior, you are likely to either be exploited or repeatedly face rejection. Maintain a realistic perspective regarding the value you bring to the table. The consideration of a woman's professional life is more impactful than you might initially assume. A woman with an established career possesses her own distinct identity, financial independence, and a sense of purpose. She is not seeking you to fulfill or complete her life. Contrast this with a woman who has drifted between menial jobs or engaged in multi-level marketing schemes, actively seeking a man to provide her with stability. While a career-oriented woman might present scheduling challenges for dates, she is far less prone to becoming financially dependent. Here is a crucial observation. Pay close attention to her relationship with her father. If she harbors animosity towards him, maintains no contact, or describes him in unequivocally negative terms without any self-awareness regarding the impact of this dynamic on her own life, consider it a strong signal to disengage. Women who harbor resentment towards their fathers often experience profound difficulties in their relationships with men in general. They may seek from you what they did not receive from their paternal figure, while simultaneously holding you accountable for his perceived shortcomings. This creates an untenable situation. The topic of body count is often uncomfortable, yet it is undeniably important. After 35, everyone has a past. However, there is a significant distinction between a woman who has experienced several meaningful, committed relationships and one who has been intimate with dozens of individuals. The capacity for deep, lasting pair bonding tends to diminish with each successive partner. If she has been intimate with 50 men, the probability of you being the uniquely special number 51 is exceedingly low. Let us now contemplate the possibility of choosing solitary existence. This is not an act of surrender. It is a conscious decision to prioritize inner peace over external turmoil. If the available options would demonstrably diminish your overall quality of life, remaining single is the more intelligent choice. A detrimental relationship is immeasurably worse than no relationship at all. Loneliness is an unpleasant sensation. Being with someone who renders you miserable is a destructive experience. I am acquainted with men who embraced solitude after the age of 35 and subsequently flourished. They travel according to their own desires, pursue their interests without compromise, preserve their inner peace, and retain their financial resources. Do they experience loneliness at times? Undoubtedly. However, they are not subjected to manipulation, financial depletion, or emotional devastation. They have opted for self-determination over a form of personal confinement. The biological imperative concerning the ticking clock affects men differently than women, yet its presence is undeniable. If your desire is to have biological children, this must be a significant factor in your selection process. A woman who is 38 years of age may have a limited window of fertility remaining. A woman of 28 offers a longer period, but she may not be ready to start a family when you are. These are concrete considerations that romantic sentiments alone cannot resolve. The issue of energy expenditure becomes paramount after the age of 35. Do you possess the requisite energy to navigate constant drama, to manage someone else's emotional volatility, to perpetually attend to another person's feelings? If not, you require a partner who is low maintenance, a characteristic that is becoming increasingly rare. Most individuals accumulate damage and dysfunction with age, not wisdom and serenity. Here is my pragmatic counsel for identifying the appropriate woman after 35. Firstly, establish order in your own life. Cultivate physical fitness, financial stability, and emotional maturity. You cannot attract a high-caliber partner if you yourself do not embody those qualities. Secondly, cultivate clarity regarding your desires. This is not about compiling an idealized fantasy list, but about defining genuine priorities. Would you prefer physical beauty or inner peace? youthful exuberance or seasoned maturity? Thrilling excitement or steadfast stability? Thirdly, approach dating with deliberate intention. You are no longer 22, experimenting with various encounters without a clear objective. Time is a finite resource. If an individual exhibits red flags early on, do not invest months hoping for a transformation. It is unlikely to occur. If someone is not demonstrably enhancing your life within 3 months, they likely never will. Fourthly, uphold your personal boundaries with the same ferocity you would protect your very existence. Because in essence, you are doing precisely that. The moment you compromise your standards in pursuit of companionship is the moment you have conceded defeat. It is far preferable to be alone than to be with someone who diminishes your essence. Your self-respect is not a negotiable commodity. Fifthly, recognize that the contemporary dating market is fundamentally flawed, particularly for individuals over 35. The pervasive influence of social media, the proliferation of dating applications, and broader cultural shifts have collectively fostered unrealistic expectations across the board. You are not seeking perfection. You are seeking an individual whose imperfections are manageable for you, and who can, in turn, accept yours. The societal pressure to conform must be addressed. Everyone will inquire about your single status, your marital plans, and your reasons for not having children. This pressure can compel individuals to make profoundly misguided decisions. Understand that those offering this unsolicited advice will not be living with the consequences of your choices. You will be. Their opinions hold no true weight if they are not sharing your existence. Allow me to describe various female archetypes you are likely to encounter after the age of 35. The perpetually youthful woman who has never truly matured, still reveling in a party lifestyle as if she were 22, and unable to comprehend why her life has not unfolded as she envisioned. The ambitious executive who is so consumed with competing with men that she has neglected the art of relating to them. The spiritual seeker who utilizes astrology and crystals as a means of evading tangible reality. The embittered divorcee who views all men through the distorted lens of her ex-husband's perceived failures. Then there is the professional victim who possesses a lamentable narrative for every situation and requires constant intervention. The social media devotee whose entire sense of self is derived from online validation. The spoiled princess who believes she is entitled to a life of luxury simply by virtue of her existence. Each of these archetypes carries its own distinct set of challenges that you must learn to recognize and circumvent. However, there are also women of genuine quality to be found. The grounded professional who has her life well ordered and seeks a partner, not a financial benefactor. The growth-oriented woman who is actively engaged in personal development and continues to evolve. The family-centric woman who prioritizes deep connections over superficial status. The individual of integrity, who communicates with sincerity and acts in accordance with her words. The testing phase is absolutely critical. Every woman will to some degree test you, but it is imperative to observe the nature of these tests. Women of quality are assessing your sincerity and stability. Toxic women are evaluating their ability to exert control over you. The former will cease their testing once you have consistently demonstrated your reliability. The latter will never cease, as their testing is rooted in a desire for power, not a need for reassurance. Sexual compatibility is a more significant factor than many individuals are willing to admit. After 35, your fundamental preferences are unlikely to undergo dramatic alteration, and the same holds true for her. If there exists a substantial disparity in libido, shared interests, or mutual attraction, this issue is not likely to resolve itself with the passage of time. Instead, it will evolve into a source of persistent resentment and conflict. Honesty regarding this aspect is crucial from the outset. Compatibility in terms of lifestyle is equally vital. Are you someone who prefers the comfort of home, or do you crave adventure? Are you an early riser or a night owl? Do you thrive in social settings, or are you more introverted? These may seem like minor details, but after the age of 35, significantly altering such ingrained patterns becomes exceedingly difficult. Seek someone whose natural rhythm aligns with yours, rather than someone with whom you will be in a constant state of negotiation. The family dynamic warrants careful consideration. Her children, your children, the possibility of future children, and the intricacies of extended family relationships all play a role. If she maintains a close relationship with her family, and you are distant from yours, or vice versa, this can become a source of friction. If her children actively dislike you, or if your children have a negative perception of her, these feelings are unlikely to spontaneously improve. Maintain a realistic perspective on your capacity to manage these complexities. The X factor carries considerable weight after the age of 35. Everyone has had previous partners, but the manner in which these relationships are managed is paramount. Is her ex-partner still a significant presence in her life? If so, what are the underlying reasons? Is it out of necessity? Due to shared children? Or by choice? Is she unable to emotionally detach? Does she frequently compare you to him? Is she truly over him? A woman who has not fully moved on from her past relationship, even if legally divorced, will invariably introduce that emotional baggage into your current dynamic. Financial compatibility extends beyond simply the question of who possesses wealth. It is fundamentally about attitudes toward money. Is she prone to spending or to saving? Does she anticipate that you will maintain her current lifestyle? Is she capable of differentiating between desires and necessities. Financial strain is a more potent relationship destroyer than infidelity. Ensure that your philosophies regarding money are in alignment. The factor of physical health becomes increasingly critical after the age of 35. Is she actively prioritizing her well-being, or is she allowing herself to decline? Does she maintain healthy habits, or is she engaged in a slow process of self-destruction? You cannot rescue someone from their own detrimental choices. If she does not value her health at this stage, it is highly probable that her condition will only deteriorate, and you will be left to contend with the ensuing consequences.
Here is the ultimate assessment. Does being with her elevate you to a better version of yourself? Or does it diminish you? Do you feel energized or depleted after spending time with her? Are you experiencing personal growth, or are you regressing? Do you feel more confident or more anxious? The right woman will amplify your strengths. The wrong one will magnify your weaknesses. The matter of commitment must be addressed. After the age of 35, you are either actively seeking a lifelong partner or you are not. Be forthright about your intentions. If your preference is for casual relationships, acknowledge it openly. If your aspiration is marriage, make that clear. Do not waste her time or your own by pretending to desire something that you do not. The modern marriage contract is a subject you must thoroughly understand before making any commitment. It is significantly different from the arrangements your parents might have experienced. The legal framework, societal expectations, and financial ramifications have all undergone substantial changes. Be fully apprised of what you are entering into. Consider the possibility of a prenuptial agreement. Protect yourself while simultaneously holding on to hope for the best outcome. The biological realities are impossible to disregard. If she is over 35 and desires children, fertility challenges are a distinct possibility. Are you prepared for the prospect of in vitro fertilization, adoption, or the possibility of remaining childless? If she already has children, are you prepared to assume the role of a stepfather, with all its inherent limitations and complexities? These are not romantic considerations, but they are profoundly significant. Geographic location plays a more influential role than you might initially perceive. Your place of residence directly shapes your dating pool. A small town will offer a different selection of individuals compared to a major metropolitan area. Conservative regions will present a different array of women than more liberal enclaves. If your current location is not providing you with sufficient opportunities, you may need to consider relocating or adjusting your expectations accordingly. When evaluating a potential partner, the company she keeps is a significant indicator. Consider her friends,
What kind of influence do they exert? Associating with individuals who exhibit detrimental behaviors often leads to a woman adopting those same traits. Conversely, a woman surrounded by supportive and accomplished friends likely possesses similar qualities herself. You're not merely entering into a relationship with her, but with her entire social network. A key differentiator for exceptional women is their commitment to personal development. Is she actively pursuing new knowledge, growing, and evolving? Or has she plateaued since her formative years, content to simply maintain the status quo? A woman who displays genuine curiosity about life, a drive for self-improvement, and the humility to acknowledge her errors is a strong candidate for a lifelong partnership. The effectiveness of your relationship will hinge on your communication styles. Can she express differing viewpoints constructively without resorting to negativity? Is she capable of articulating her needs assertively but not demandingly? Does she practice active listening rather than simply anticipating her turn to speak? Effective communication serves as the bedrock upon which all other aspects of a relationship are built. Ultimately, for individuals over the age of 35, the ideal partner is someone who enhances an already fulfilling life. The objective is not to find someone to mend your perceived flaws, make you whole, or rescue you. Instead, you seek companionship that you genuinely prefer over solitude. If such a connection cannot be found, choosing to be alone is the wiser path.
The distinction between an abundance mentality and a scarcity mentality is profoundly important. Selecting a partner out of a fear of isolation will inevitably lead to poor choices. Conversely, choosing someone who genuinely enriches your existence will result in a positive outcome. Let apprehension never dictate your decisions. Mutual respect is an absolute requirement. She must honor you, your time, your professional endeavors, your personal interests, and your established boundaries. Without respect, love loses its true meaning. A woman who professes love but lacks respect will ultimately cause significant harm. Prioritize respect above all else, even in the face of intense passion. Practical considerations cannot be disregarded. Discussions regarding living arrangements, the equitable division of expenses, and the management of household responsibilities are crucial. These seemingly mundane conversations offer greater insight into compatibility than grand romantic displays. A failure to find common ground on practical matters can spell the demise of a relationship. Your intuition plays a vital role. Your subconscious often perceives truths that your conscious mind has yet to process. If something feels amiss, even if you cannot immediately identify the reason, heed that inner voice. After the age of 35, you possess sufficient life experience to place trust in your instincts. Do not dismiss them due to loneliness or fleeting desire. Remember this: the right woman for you beyond 35 is one who has also invested in her own self-discovery. She has worked through her past, understands her desires, contributes significantly, and does not expect you to fulfill all her needs. She is a complete individual seeking to share her life with another equally complete person. If you are unable to find such a partner, that is perfectly acceptable.
Being single and content is immeasurably superior to being in a relationship characterized by turmoil. Your personal value is not contingent on your romantic status. You have navigated life thus far independently, and you are capable of continuing to do so if circumstances require it. The fundamental truth is this: after 35, your accumulated wisdom prevents pretense. Your experiences shield you from naivete, and your journey has equipped you to avoid settling for less. Utilize that insight. Exercise discernment. Cultivate patience. Be prepared to disengage when necessary. The ideal woman will augment your life without diminishing your spirit. I am eager to hear your perspectives. What obstacles are you encountering in your dating experiences after 35? Have you identified any recurring patterns? What valuable lessons have you learned? Share your experiences in the comment section. Let us foster a genuine dialogue about what truly works, rather than what we wish were effective. Your narrative might serve to help another man avoid a detrimental situation or discover his ideal companion.